What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. Over the weekend, you know what? It might have been Friday. I got a phone call from a friend of mine, right? Now, before I get any further than that, I always trip out that when I do videos where I mention where I get a phone call from a homie or a DM from somebody, there's always at least one hater that's like, he didn't get a phone call. He didn't get a DM. Why would I lie? I could still do the video. Anyhow, I got a phone call from a friend of mine, and he was saying how views are down, right? He's like, man, your views, you've been putting out good stuff and your views are down. And he says, Rene Enriquez is taking all of your views, right? And I told him, no, views are down across the board. His channel is new. Remember, he had to redo his channel. And so he's doing good numbers. However, everyone's views are down, meaning his views would have been at least double if it wasn't for whatever is going on the platform, right? But I did have a little conversation with them. And I'll say this. Rene Enriquez has an advantage that other channels don't have. It isn't, a lot of these other channels would do the same thing if they could, but they can't. Me, I stay in whatever my comfort zone is. So I watched a video of Rene Enriquez this morning, and in the video, he said something like, I don't know if he said he had 1,000 hours of video on a specific individual that he was discussing, or if he had 1,000 videos. I think he said hours, right? And so he's able to show the pictures. He's able to play the wiretaps and break those things down. I don't have access to that stuff, and me personally, wouldn't be comfortable doing it. So Rene has a lane that only Mundo can step into. That's it. And look it, no matter what people want to say about the guy, he got made. And when he was in the mix, those of us that were around during that time, we knew his name, we knew his reputation, and it was no joke. Now, there isn't a single content creator that I watch all of their videos. If I'm being honest, the one content creator whose videos I probably watch more than anyone's would be Compton Rit Rock. But there are times when I'll see on my feed a video by Rene Enriquez, and I'll click on it. And I'll click on it because either I know the people he's talking about personally, or I know about the incident. And I talked about it the other day. You know, when he was doing his thing, he was in the Bay Slam Down, right? At that time, I was going in and out of the shoe, right? Before he left, I had already been to the shoe 3 times. I want to actually 4 times is how many times I want him going back to Pelican Bay shoe. But while he was around, I had been in and out of the shoe 3 different times, right? And he was slammed down. He was slammed down like all of the legends, like all the big names of all the big 4, right? And one thing that I always tripped out on, and I've done videos about this years ago, about disgruntled employees is what I like to call them. There could be a guy on the yard, right? Believe me, there's a few names, faces that pop into my head, but I'll give you an example. There could be a guy on the yard, And he's a camarada, but he's been drinking too much. And he's been coming out of his cell after he's been drinking. Now, everywhere I've been, when you're drinking, you don't leave your cell because you may put everyone in a situation because you're inebriated, because you can't handle your liquor. And so, back to the scenario. Let's say there's a camarada, excuse me. Let's say there's a camarada and he's put in work, he's respected, but he's been drinking. He's coming out on the yard. And the mesa notices. They get together about it. And it's decided we're going to give him action. We're going to show him some love. So what happens is we catch him the next day when he's sober. Hey, homie, can you come here real quick? Let me holler at you. Obviously, he's going to know this is the mesa asking me to sit down. Comes over, hey, what's up? There's all the pleasantries. How you doing? Hey, how you been? Whoop, whoop. Hey, we were just wondering if you would do us a favor. Now, as a camarada, he knows. He's been drinking. The spotlight got put on him. And he's being shown love. Because if he says no, he's going to get hit that yard. He says yes, he's going to be whacking somebody tomorrow at yard. Right? So, knowing he's been drinking, understanding that instead of him being whacked, he's being shown love. He's like, I got you. Whatever you vatos need, I got it, eh? Okay, boom. So the next yard, he's handed a piece. He's already, everything that needs to be taken care of is taken care of. Those who know. He's told who his target is. Boom. He whacks him. Goes to the shoe. When he gets to the shoe, he'll run into one of the legends. And the legend will ask him, hey, man, so how was it right there where you were? Holmes, like, what yard were you on? Oh, I was on whatever yard, in this prison, this and that. How was it over there? Hey, man, you know what? There's a lot of good camaradas there, but the vatos on the mesa, and then he shits on them. He starts bad-mouthing dudes who showed him love. Because he was mad. He's holding a grudge because he didn't get to be a drunk on the yard. He didn't get to jeopardize other people. He's selfish. However, he painted a picture in an important person's mind about what's going on and who's there and what's going on in that spot. The only way that gets fixed is if another camarada comes and he's like, nah, homie, it wasn't like that at all. And then that puts that dude in even worse light, right? But a lot of times, they don't land like that. Two dudes from the same yard at different times. And so what I'm getting at is, when you have all the legends up there, whatever they think is going on, it's only because of who came and who painted the picture for them. So, the other day when I talked about how when a decision is made, okay, this vato, he's over here. We need to get at some of the camarada. Who's over there? This dude needs to get downed. Once they make that decision and send the word out, remember, this was back when everybody slammed. Everybody's out now. So it's different. But back then, when they sent the word, whatever they envisioned wasn't always exactly what occurred. At the end of the day, the job got done. Whether the person lives or dies, that's between them and God. I always say that. But you only know what you know from where you're at, if you can understand what I'm saying. And it's just it's the same as, when camaradas, like, for an example, you'd be in New Folsom. and you're hearing there's a certain name in Old Folsom. Well, New Folsom is a higher level prison than Old Folsom. And so you're thinking like, how do I need to get word. I need to get palabra to Old Folsom about this individual because he's poisoning the well, right? And you may come across somebody that's in the gym. Those are the lower level dudes that they may wind up in Old Folsom. And, so it's the same. Whatever you have envisioned there, when you send the word and it gets sent to wherever the person is at, whatever happens, you really can't control it. You know what you want to happen. You know what you envision happening. But that's not always what it is. I don't know. I just wanted to do this video because nobody's stealing anybody's views. But I will say that there's a difference in, each channel has its comfort zone. What they're willing to do, what they're comfortable doing, what they're comfortable talking about. I've heard somebody the other day said that I badmouthed that channel. I've never badmouthed that channel. For what? I don't badmouth any channels. At times I have retaliated against channels that have over and over and over and over talked about me. But even then, it's rare when I do that. I used to have fun doing it. Now it's gotten to the point where I think all of us understand. I just saw a video Damian Porter did today about fake gangsters on the internet. On the internet, it's like this. People make their minds up one way or the other. No matter what you say to certain people, you're a liar. And to other people, what you say is gospel. It's the truth. There's really no gray area. It's weird. Anyhow, that's my video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.